The first thing I will say is don't freak out, don't stress. My first recommendation is don't compare your story or how you do this with anybody else. First and foremost, this is your relationship with God. This is your story. This isn't my story. How you handle it, is going to be different from how I do this. So let's not compare notes on how one another is doing this. Did one person buy 3 less gifts for their kids versus another one who bought 2 less? Let's make it personal. So with that being said, I would encourage parents, especially moms, because moms have the hardest time with this out of anybody else, and for good reason. My wife was the same way. We want to give our kids gifts, and we want to show them how much we love them. But we also, like you said, we don't want this story to be hijacked any longer. The biggest thing that I will tell people is kids, out of all of this, we've been doing this now for, 4 years? Kids get it more than anybody else. They're the first ones who latch onto this idea. For them, when I told my kids, hey, here's the reality. My son at the time was 5, and my other one was 2, so he barely remembers. But I remember telling our 5-year-old at the time, there's kids out there who are your age who can't go to school, they can't play, and they can't do anything. Do you know why? And he said, well, why? And I said, because they don't have clean water. And he thought that was absurd. He's like, but I get clean water all the time out of my sink. And I said, I know. And for him, I said, we have a chance to really help these kids out. And so what happened from that point on was amazing to watch, because not only did he understand when I said, there might be just a couple less gifts underneath the tree this year, because we're going to take that money and we're going to give it to those kids who need our help. And one thing I found out was he told me, there's only really 2 or 3 gifts I really want anyways. All that other stuff I can do without. The second thing that happened was, I'll never forget this. I was walking by our Christmas tree one day. This is the first year, and there was a water bottle underneath the tree. And I looked in the water bottle, and it was filled with coins. And I had no idea who it was from or what it was, what it was all about. And so I asked my son about this. I said, "Did you put this underneath the tree?" And he said, "Yeah." He said, I took the water bottle from our kitchen cabinet, and I took it to school, and I told kids about this problem, and they told their parents, and then they brought coins from the Tooth Fairy or from what they found underneath the couch, and he raised I think it was $10, and it was just, I was like, that is it right there. So not only do kids get it, but they want to play, they want to have an active role in this. And they want to really figure out, how can we help kids? Because the last thing one thing that they really get is, you mean kids my age don't have what I have and they're suffering? Well, that's more important than a gift. And now as parents, we've got to balance it out and just say, we love you and we want to give gifts that are meaningful. And we want to, if you want a bike for Christmas and you really want a bike, well, if you can afford it and you're not going into debt, get your kid the bike. I mean, gosh, he'll remember that forever. But at the same time, teach him the values, teach him the history, teach him his, for lack of a better word, his heritage, his Christian heritage, and say, hey, this is an opportunity you have to really wish Christ a happy birthday by loving those who, as he said, were the least of these.